Kang Dawan doesn't mean to ruin her dignity on a Wednesday, but between too much soju and one dangerously attractive team leader, here she is, half drunk, half dreaming, and 100% doomed. To be fair, team leader So Jung-hoo is the most attractive man she has ever met. A walking heartthrob with a company badge. Still, up until just a week ago, she convinces herself none of that has anything to do with her. And yet, here she is. Jung-hoo takes off his shirt with the casual ease of someone unbothered by gravity or clothing. Dawan blinks, momentarily unsure if this is reality or a daydream brought on by expired energy drinks. He looks at her, his expression a mix of mischief and something far more dangerous. He mentions how he's cut down on his workouts, just in case it might appeal to her. Apparently, she once mumbled something about not liking guys with too many muscles. Great, past Kang Dawan, always making comments like, the world isn't listening. She doesn't know whether to be flattered, panicked, or just lie down and play dead. She stares, her brain barely functioning. That's what his body looks like after cutting back on exercise. Was he training for a drama role or the Olympics? Scrambling for an excuse, she blurts something about only saying that because she was trying to agree with the other staff. Classic survival mode. But before she can even finish her clumsy explanation, he leans in and kisses her, effectively hitting the mute button on her thoughts. In the office, team leader So Jung-hoo calls out to her, and Kang Dawan quickly responds, following him like a well-trained intern. As they walk, she can't help but think, again, that he looks like someone who's just stepped off a drama set. Ridiculously handsome, model height, and somehow managing to shine like an areca palm in their dull, beige office jungle. The moment Jung-hoo strolls through the middle of the office, the atmosphere shifts. Heads turn. Conversations pause. The girls at their desks giggle behind their monitors, cheeks turning pink like someone just whispered the word romance too loudly. That's the effect So Jung-hoo has on the female employees. A man practically engineered in a lab to make hearts flutter. With his looks, height, and that calm, confident attitude, he's basically the office's unofficial main character. Kang Dawan picks up her phone, the screen lighting up with a photo of her and her boyfriend as the wallpaper. A little reminder to keep her head on straight. Then she follows after Jung-hoo, heels clicking a little too loudly on the floor. But for me, she thinks he's just a tough boss who's overly thorough with his work. A walking audit form in a good-looking package. She steps into the elevator behind him, already mentally bracing herself for whatever task he has in store. She glances at Jung-hoo's reflection in the elevator wall and sighs inwardly. More than anything, I wish my future son would look like that. Not that she has a kid, minor detail. Get a grip, Kang Dawan, she scolds herself. Your boyfriend's not that bad, right? Then she frowns a little. Come to think of it, he hasn't called her yesterday. Or today, maybe he's just busy, she reasons, trying not to spiral. I'll call him after work and meet up. We're fine. Totally fine. She looks down at her phone, smiles at the wallpaper, and gives it a quick kiss, like some kind of romantic good luck charm. Honestly, this is the best part about dating someone from the same office. No long commutes, no scheduling nightmares, just sneak in a kiss between reports. Seo Jung-hoo turns back to look at her, snapping her out of her thoughts. She blinks, realizing the elevator doors are wide open, and she's still standing there like a confused extra. Flustered, she stammers and quickly follows him out. To her surprise, he walks straight to his car, then casually opens the passenger door. Kang Dawan freezes like the plot has taken a sudden twist. He gestures for her to get in, calm as ever. Still stunned, she thanks him and slides into the seat, wondering if she's accidentally stepped into an alternate universe. As the car rolls onto the road, her mind races. Did the sun rise in the west today? Did he win the lottery? Why on earth did he open the car door? It's polite, weirdly polite, suspiciously polite. She narrows her eyes a little. Something is definitely up. She glances out the window and makes a casual comment about the weather. It looks like rain's on the way. He agrees with a nod, eyes on the road. Her mind drifts to an earlier conversation at the office. One of the girls had asked her, half whispering and half giggling, what it's like to ride with So Jung-hoo. Do they talk about personal stuff? Is it romantic? Mysterious? Office gossip gold. Kang Dawan had laughed it off then, but now sitting next to him in the quiet car, she suddenly feels the weight of that question. Let's not talk about personal things, she tells herself firmly. Then she sees it, Taehyun bent over and kissing the person beside him. Her breath catches, no mistaking it, no blurry window excuse. It's clear, too clear. The car glides past and disappears into the curtain of rain, like nothing happened. Like it didn't just crack something open inside her. In the restroom, she splashes cold water on her face, again and again, as if that could erase the image already burned into her memory. Him, smiling, him, kissing someone else like it was routine, like it wasn't betrayal. What am I supposed to do now? Her fingers tremble against the sink. Pull yourself together, Kang Dawan. This isn't the time. You've got work, a full inbox, people waiting. She draws in a shaky breath, dabs her face dry, and forces her reflection into something passable. Not perfect, just not falling apart. Outside, Jung-hoo is still waiting. She walks over, offers a small smile, keeps her tone even. No cracks, no questions, no drama. Her phone buzzes. I'm heading to the meeting, Miss Kang. Please wait at the cafe. I'll call you when I'm done. Of course, not even a foot in the door. She's been left outside, literally and figuratively. Perfect, really, couldn't be more perfect. She exhales softly, bows her head slightly in acknowledgement. Young-hoo just nods, says it's time to go back. She follows. He doesn't ask. Maybe he doesn't want to know. Maybe he already does. In the car, silence fills the space between them. Then he asks if she's okay. She wants to say no. But she nods. He offers to let her leave early. Another shake of her head. She doesn't want to owe anyone pity or concern, not even him. Still, it's hard to ignore the weight of his attention. He isn't the type to notice everything, but maybe this time he does. He probably means well, but she didn't even make it to the meeting. And honestly, she just doesn't want anything messing up her work. She closes her eyes, trying to hold back the tears threatening to spill. Without a word, he hands her a napkin. She takes it quietly, whispering a thank you, because sometimes small kindnesses feel like giant lifelines. He tells her he's already organized the meeting materials and sent them to her by email. She responds with a quick, cheerful yes, even though guilt presses on her chest. I should have done this myself, she thinks. But thanks to team leader Seo Jung-hoo, who actually did the work, I can finish everything way faster. Maybe I should start bribing him with coffee. Her fingers hover over her phone. She types, "Who was that girl?" His reply comes, "Who?" She doesn't hesitate. "The one you hugged and kissed in the car today." A long pause, then just one word. "Oh." Her chest tightens. She types again. "Let's meet and talk. Come to the rooftop." On the rooftop, she doesn't waste time. She slaps him. He stumbles a step back, one hand to his cheek, staring at her in shock. "Are you crazy, Kang Dawan?" Taehyun yells, loud enough to turn heads in the hallway. Kang Dawan, not the least bit embarrassed, stares him down like she's ready to flip a desk. She reminds him, loudly, what he's done, and acts genuinely shocked that he doesn't expect consequences. He scrambles to remind her where they are, his voice dropping as he glances around nervously. Office walls don't offer much privacy, especially not when someone's practically broadcasting their breakup in HD. She snaps back, clearly unimpressed by his attempt to play innocent, accusing him of slacking off in more ways than one. That hits a nerve. He fires back, offended and confused, but that only makes her scoff harder. Inside, she tells herself it wouldn't have hurt more even if he'd tried to lie his way out of it. Honestly, it might have been easier if he had. At least then she could pretend she was wrong. He admits it with a sigh, like he's doing her a favor by being honest now. Says he hadn't meant to keep it hidden forever, that she would have found out anyway. Tosses in an apology like that's supposed to magically fix everything. Dawan raises an eyebrow, almost impressed by the audacity. She's not touched. She's sarcastic, throwing his apology right back at him like it comes gift-wrapped in garbage. She thanks him for letting her know he's trash before she made the biggest mistake of her life. He tries to cut in, voice rising with frustration, but she doesn't give him the chance. She steamrolls right over him, tossing out a cold smile and a comment about how thankful she is that she hadn't put a deposit down on a wedding hall. Honestly, that's the real win here. Kang Dawan remembers it clearly, like a scene out of a bad drama rerun playing in her head whether she likes it or not. Back then, Taehyun had looked at her with that fake sincerity he's mastered so well, asking if she's really going to marry him. Said he trusted her, like he's the one taking a risk. She hadn't hesitated. Told him he didn't need to worry, like she's the steady one in the storm. Even joked about who else he'd trust if not her. Looking back now, the memory feels less romantic and more like the setup to a punchline. And she's the one who got played. Kang Dawan thinks to herself that, honestly, she must have been a professional-level pushover. The kind you read about in self-help books, titled How to Stop Being That Girl. She looks at Taehyun, unimpressed and still furious, and brings up the girl, the one he cheated with. Asks if that poor girl even knows she's part of an affair, or if Taehyun's been running the same smooth lies on both sides. If he likes someone else, why hadn't he just asked to break up like a functioning adult? Taehyun groans, clearly more annoyed than guilty, and tries to defend himself. Taehyun claims she should have figured it out just because he wasn't picking up his phone. According to his logic, silence is apparently the universal sign for my heart has changed. She stares at him like he's just failed a basic human decency test, because he has. She fires back without hesitation, demanding to know if he thinks she's some kind of mind reader. How is she supposed to know anything when he never says a word? She calls him trash, loud enough for a few nearby employees to suddenly find their phones fascinating. Then she adds that it makes perfect sense he has no self-awareness. After all, he's trash. And no one expects garbage to come with thoughtful communication skills. Reading his mind? That would have required his brain to actually work. She scoffs, saying she feels sorry for the girl he's seeing now. Poor thing probably has no idea she's picked up a walking red flag disguised as a man. With that, she turns and walks away, not sparing him another glance. In her head, one phrase plays on repeat like a curse she's proud of. Dirty bastard. She ends up taking a month off. No dramatic announcement, just leaves the office drama to stew without her. One day, a message pops up on her phone. It's from Yoojung. The text asks if she's sick. She stares at it, confused. Since when are they on texting terms? Yoojung, acting concerned, feels about as natural as a vending machine giving hugs. Another notification follows. A call's coming in, Chief Han Sangmi. With a sigh, she picks up and greets her politely. Chief Han doesn't waste time. She jumps straight into it, asking what's going on. Is she sick? Is everything okay? She manages to get out a simple, yes ma'am, before the chief cuts in again, her voice already brimming with judgment. She guesses it's about Deputy Lim Taehyun, calls him a jerk without hesitation, asks if it's true he cheated. She doesn't answer right away. Her thoughts swirl. Great, she mutters silently. The rumors have made their rounds already. Is that why everyone suddenly cares now? Yoojung texts again. Of course she does. At this point, there's nothing left to hide. She and Taehyun had basically been the office's unofficial it couple. Everyone saw the breakup coming before she did. Office gossip moves faster than HR memos. Chief Han keeps talking, her tone teetering between concern and mild offense. She admits she didn't know they'd broken up, but says she always thought something felt off. Then comes the real kicker. Taehyun is dating Yoojung. Han sounds personally insulted by the pairing, and honestly, she kind of agrees. It doesn't make sense, no matter how you try to spin it. Even in the world of messy office romances, that match is pushing it. Back when it all first unraveled, she had sent him a message. Plain and direct. Who is that girl? He replied like he had no idea what she meant. Who? Seriously? She hadn't even bothered hiding her irritation. She told him exactly who. The girl he'd been hugging and kissing in the car earlier that day. There was a pause before he finally answered. Oh. Just oh, like she'd caught him dropping his keys, not cheating. She had stared at her phone, eyebrows twitching. Oh? That was his grand explanation? As if summoned by the universe's twisted sense of humor, Yoojung suddenly appears in front of her, all smiles. Says she hasn't gone home yet and was just about to leave. Claims she's been waiting around because her boyfriend had something come up last minute. Boyfriend, right. She tilts her head and gives a polite smile, sharp enough to cut glass. She repeats the word back like it's news, then says she thought so. Yoojung laughs lightly and admits the relationship is still new. Barely started, really. She nods, lips tight but polite. Oh, is that so? Congratulations, she says. like she's handing over a trophy for best performance in a betrayal scene. Yoojung lights up and asks if she really means it. Meanwhile, she's smiling on the outside and screaming on the inside. I'm sprinting toward a breakup, she thinks, and she's just getting started like it's episode 1 of a rom-com. Yoojung adds that, for some reason, she suddenly feels closer to her, says it's because of the congratulations. Like one polite line has built a friendship bridge out of nowhere. She keeps her voice steady, polite. Of course, she says it's something worth celebrating. She even adds that she hopes the relationship goes well, tossing in a thank you like she's not quietly dying inside. Then she offers the usual office niceties. Maybe they'll meet again sometime. Maybe they'll grab a meal together. The kind of vague future plans people make when they don't actually want them to happen. But Yoojung takes it seriously. Her eyes light up as she asks if she can introduce her boyfriend next time. If she doesn't mind, of course. She holds her smile. She minds. Oh, she minds. But she nods anyway. She hesitates and says she's not sure if it would really be appropriate for her to join. Inside, she's thinking, why on earth would I want to have dinner with your boyfriend? Just then, the elevator dings, signaling its arrival. She takes the opportunity to wrap things up, wishing Yoojung a safe trip home. Her tone is friendly. Too friendly, maybe. Yoojung bounces back with the same cheerful politeness, telling her to get home safely, too. She steps into the elevator, thinking that sometimes the best way to survive office drama is with a good dose of sarcasm and a swift exit. Her phone buzzes. It's a message from Yoojung again, asking if she's sick since she hadn't shown up at work that day. The timing feels like a punchline. Her mind drifts back to Yoojung's earlier words about feeling close to her, just because she'd said congratulations. It's almost funny. She chuckles quietly. Really? You're making me laugh. Meanwhile, Seo Junyo sits nearby, eyes glued to his computer screen, utterly stunned, probably wondering how the office turned into a live-action sitcom. She stands in front of the building, takes a deep breath, and mutters to herself, "Act natural, Kang Dawan. Just act natural, like you didn't slap your boyfriend on the rooftop yesterday." As the elevator doors open, she steps out cautiously. Thankfully, she thinks, I didn't run into Lim Tae-hyun, but seriously, I'm not a meerkat. Why is everyone staring like I just walked in with a flaming briefcase? Avoiding eye contact, she keeps walking, pretending not to notice the curious glances. Note to self, she adds bitterly, never, ever date someone at the office again. I'd rather fall in love with a vending machine. Suddenly, a group of female employees starts whispering nearby, voices just loud enough to catch bits and pieces. They're talking about Cho Yoojung and Lim Tae-hyun. Something about how unbelievable it is, how bold they're being, and how no one knows if they'll get caught. Miss Cho walks over, hears their conversation. She accidentally locks eyes with team leader So Junhoo from across the office. Her heart skips, and not in the good way. Heading straight to her desk, she tries to focus, but her thoughts won't cooperate. Ugh, this is so embarrassing. I wanted to look like a calm, put-together professional in front of him, not like someone fresh off a rooftop drama scene. Then it all clicks. The woman Lim Tae-hyun was kissing, like his life depended on it. It had to be Cho Yoojung. She lets out a slow breath, eyes narrowing slightly. Congratulations, Lim Tae-hyun, she thinks bitterly. You are now officially Kansi's top-tier trash. Gold medal status. She leans back in her chair, thoughts spiraling faster than her inbox. Come to think of it, they're on the same team. Seriously? You started an affair with someone 3 years younger just because you shared a few spreadsheets? Her jaw clenches. I hate even asking myself questions like this, but there's no way Cho Yoojung didn't know about me and Lim Tae-hyun. They hadn't exactly been subtle. Everyone in the office knew. They were practically listed as office couple in the employee directory. Dawan shakes her head, resisting the urge to groan. Unbelievable. Corporate life really is just a K-drama with bad coffee. Then she remembers that moment, clear as day, when Cho Yoojung had smiled and said, "If you don't mind, can I introduce you to my boyfriend?" Dawan blinks, stunned all over again. What was she even thinking when she said that? Was that irony? Boldness? Delusion? She sighs. Well, I guess normal people will never fully grasp the thought process of someone completely out of line. Opening her bag with a tired exhale, she digs around for her lip balm, But instead, her fingers brush against something soft and neatly folded. She pauses. It's the handkerchief, the one team leader Seo Junhoo had given her. The corners are still crisp, like he'd ironed them with military precision. Right, she thinks. That actually happened. A rare human kindness in the middle of my personal soap opera. She glances over at team leader Seo Junhoo, the handkerchief still in her hand. I need to return this to him. But how? Do I just sneak it onto his desk like a spy? Just as she's lost in thought, he looks up and catches her staring. Their eyes meet for half a second. Panic kicks in. She snaps her gaze back to her monitor like it's suddenly the most fascinating thing on earth. Okay, Dawan, she tells herself. One crisis at a time. Let's work first. Operation, return the handkerchief can wait. As Dawan settles in at her desk, a message pops up from Chief Han Sangmi. Miss Kang, are you okay? She quickly types back, yes, of course. Another message follows almost instantly. Why didn't you take a few more days off? Honestly, with your personality, I think a little break wouldn't hurt. Dawan smiles faintly and replies, I'm sorry for making you worry. I'm fine now. That's good then, Sangmi writes back. Take your time. Don't overwork yourself. Thank you, ma'am, Dawan responds politely. There's a beat before the next message. You can call me Unni when we talk like this. Dawan lets out a quiet laugh and types, Hey, yes, ma'am. Sangmi sends one last message. Anyway, let's see how long you keep calling me ma'am like that. Dawan shakes her head, amused. Challenge noted, she thinks. She leans back in her chair, staring at the chat window with a small grin. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep calling her ma'am until the day I leave this company. We might work under the same roof, but calling her Unni feels like crossing some kind of invisible line. She glances at the mountain of tasks waiting on her screen and sighs. Anyway, there's no time for a title crisis. I've got a pile of work today. Let's crush it and survive another corporate battlefield. Dawan lets out a quiet breath as she wraps up the final line of her report. Barely finished, but finished, she tells herself, stretching her fingers like a pianist after a long recital. Time to hand it in before I change my mind and run away. She walks over to team leader Seo Junhoo's desk and places the file in front of him. Mr. Seo, please check the report, she says, doing her best to sound composed. Without looking up, he gives a short nod. Got it. He opens the file, eyes landing on the header. Canned sea, food, and life. A small sound of acknowledgement escapes him. Ah, she bows politely. Thank you, he gives a neutral reply. Yes, Dawan returns to her seat, her chest feeling oddly heavy. Is it because I suddenly feel like a shabby version of myself in front of someone I actually respect? The thought surprises her. Why does that make me feel a little sad? Just then, a message pops up on her screen. It's from Chief Han Sangmi. Miss Kang, let's eat lunch together. She quickly types back. Okay, a small smile tugs at her lips. Well, even so, she's the only one who still thinks about me. That thought, at least, feels warm. In the elevator, Chief Han Sangmi glances down and says, You're wearing pretty shoes, Miss Kang. Dawan smiles. I finally tried them on for a change. Bought them ages ago, but never wore them. Sangmi nods approvingly. I like that. They look good on you. You should wear them more often. Dawan agrees quietly, feeling a little boost of confidence with every step. Later, back behind her desk, she yawns and wonders why she feels so sleepy despite the coffee. Suddenly, team leader Soyu calls out, Miss Kang? She jolts up. Yes? She stands quickly, startled. What's up? Mr. So, he hands her a file. Please review this. She nods. Yes, I understand. But in her head, why did I even get up? So embarrassing. Like I just wasted energy for no reason. Then, pointing at the small plant on her desk, he asks, Isn't this already dead? Dawan stares at the poor eucalyptus. I didn't even notice when it died, probably drowned it with too much water. Clearly, I have zero talent for keeping plants alive. It's just decoration, she says, trying to recover. Like dried flowers. I keep dried flowers alive on purpose. What an absurd excuse, she thinks, cringing. To her surprise, he chuckles. Didn't know about this weird side of you. Then he adds casually, I already ordered a new one. She blinks. Huh? Don't let this one die, he says. Take good care of it. Just then, a delivery man arrives asking for Junhoo. He signals toward Dawan's desk. There, the man sets the box down and hands over a pen. Junhoo signs without missing a beat. Could you take this dead plant away too? He asks. No problem, the man replies, picking up the wilted remains. Junhoo turns to Dawan. Is that okay? She nods. I should have thrown that poor thing out ages ago. It's not the plant's fault. Lim Taehyun gave it to me. Her eyes drift to the new box. The label reads Sansevieria. He says this one's a fresh start for Miss Kang. Raising plants isn't easy, but this one's special. It doesn't need much water, and it's pretty hard to kill. Then, with a rare half smile, he adds, perfect match for you. While the group chat buzzes with messages, he glances at her. She looks back, trying to keep a straight face, but her thoughts betray her. She genuinely wonders if Mr. So has finally lost it. She starts to thank him, her voice soft, saying he really doesn't have to go this far. But before she can finish, So Junhoo is already walking away, casually tossing over his shoulder that she should raise it well. Just like that, a plant and a mission, handed over without room for protest. She glances around and catches several curious eyes on her. Great, now her desk is a mini zoo exhibit. She sighs internally, thinking everyone probably finds it just as strange as she does. Lifting the lid of the box, she peeks inside and stares at the new plant. A Sansevieria, strong, low maintenance, impossible to kill. Fitting. Her thoughts wander. Did he pick this out himself? Team leader Seo, who usually looks at her like she's just part of the furniture? The same So Junhoo who barely blinks in her direction most days? Now suddenly handing her a plant like it's some kind of emotional support cactus? It makes no sense, which of course only makes it worse. She slumps slightly in her seat, frowning at the plant like it just handed her a scandal. Of course people are going to talk. They always do, especially after the drama with Lim Taehyun and Yoojung. Office gossip moves faster than Wi-Fi. She's barely recovered from being front-page news in the break room, and now this plant, of all things, is about to kick off Season 2. She can already hear the whispers. Did you see what Seo Junhoo gave her? Probably followed by some dramatic sigh and a totally false theory. She groans inwardly. Great, from broken heart to botany conspiracy. A group of colleagues gathers over coffee, the conversation quickly shifting from weekend plans to office drama, as usual. One of them leans in, voice lowered but clearly not low enough. Lim Taehyun, that guy's seriously lost it. I actually felt bad seeing Miss Kang today. You know she didn't even show up yesterday? Another chimes in, eyes flicking around just in case. What about Yoojung? She's been all over the place lately. Same as always. Someone scoffs. Both of them are a mess. Shouldn't we report this to HR? It's making the whole department awkward. A more cautious colleague raises an eyebrow. But Miss Kang and Mr. Lim weren't married. It's not like it's a full-blown affair. Just workplace wind. The first speaker blinks. Isn't wind still a disturbance? I mean, I'm all for office air circulation, but not like this. Maybe we should report it. HR can sort it out better than we can. Behind a corner wall, Yoojung freezes mid-step, clutching her drink like it might save her. Her pulse races. HR? Report? The smile she wore earlier slips completely. It seems the wind she stirs might be blowing her straight into trouble. At her desk, Kang Dawan's phone buzzes with a message from Shinji Woo. Dawan, let's grab a coffee. She blinks at the screen, then gives a tiny huff of amusement. I was literally just thinking I needed one. Either Jiwoo is psychic or caffeine cravings are contagious. At the cafe, Dawan approaches the table, where two familiar faces are already waving her over like they've won a prize. They slide into the seats in front of her, barely holding back their excitement. Without much build-up, the questioning starts. Sharp eyes, expectant smiles, and zero subtlety. Dawan nods with resignation, admitting the rumor is true. She already senses how fast the news must have traveled. Office gossip has a shorter delivery time than an express courier. The girls light up. One mentions something about the dead plant. Dawan quickly explains that it wasn't So Junhoo doing the dirty work. Just the delivery guy swapping it out. That only seems to make things worse. Or better, depending on how you look at it. They're impressed he even noticed the plant had withered. One half jokes about wanting to transfer teams just to witness more meticulous gestures firsthand. Conversation shifts to office chatter. Apparently, public sympathy has taken a U-turn. The same people who used to whisper behind Dawan's back are now acting like loyal supporters. The twist? They believe the team leader might actually have a soft spot for her, something no one at CanC has seen before. Dawan stirs her drink, wondering if the ice is melting faster than her will to survive this conversation. She denies it immediately, brushing off the idea with a casual wave. It's just a plant. Nothing more. Still, deep down, she remembers what it felt like to be labeled poor Miss Kang all week. And maybe, just maybe, this odd little twist isn't entirely bad. Her friend, unfazed, focuses on the only thing that matters. He gave you something. That's enough to keep the excitement alive. Dawan gives in with a small smile, playing along. She might not be thrilled about the rumors, but the shift in tone? That, at least, is a bit exciting. She wonders if she's misunderstood Mr. So's intentions. If the plant really was a gift, maybe there's more to it. Or what if he gave her the plant just to distract everyone from the rumors and start a new story? If that was his plan, she has to admit, he's smarter than she thought. Suddenly, Yoojung appears, calling out to Miss Kang and asking if they can talk for a moment. The girls at the nearby tables exchange glances, quietly wondering if they should leave. Yoojung assures them it's fine to stay and promises to be quick. She apologizes sincerely, saying she hadn't known about Miss Kang and Mr. Lim's relationship. If she had, she wouldn't have gone out with him. She adds that she feels like a victim, too, though she admits she was ignorant. Tears well up as she apologizes again. Miss Kang thinks, victim? You? She scoffs and tells Yoojung she has nothing to do with Mr. Lim anymore. She doesn't care who he sees or what he does. But if Yoojung wanted to date him, she should have just done it without asking for permission now. Yoojung admits she just wanted to get closer to Miss Kang. There were things she'd wanted to learn, but never had the courage to say out loud. She says she respects Miss Kang a lot, and if she'd known about the relationship, she wouldn't have accepted Mr. Lim's confession. Miss Kang freezes. He asked her out first? She asks if Yoojung really respected her, how could she not have known she'd been dating him for a year? Nearby, one colleague whispers, everyone knows except her. Another replies, it's only been a little over 6 months since Yoojung started here. The office gossip train is clearly still going full speed. Kang feels a bit of relief. At least now, Yoojung knows her precious oppa confessed without even telling his girlfriend he had one. She thinks, yeah, your boyfriend's definitely trash. She tells Yoojung it's her choice if she wants to deal with that kind of trash. But if she starts bad-mouthing, Kang's out. Turning to Shinjiwoo and Yoonhina, she asks if they're ready to leave. They nod immediately, and the three of them get up together. Eager to escape the drama. A few minutes later, Shinjiwoo texts, Yoojung is wild, lying like it's nothing. Yoonhina replies, I wanted to drag you out sooner. I knew you were sharp, Dawan, but seeing it in action gave me goosebumps. Shinjiwoo adds, you were like a crisp cider. Seriously refreshing. Yoonhina sends one more. It was so fun. Kang Dawan laughs, feeling lighter, riding the high of that brief but satisfying exit. She remembers that moment at the cafe, how Yoojung had grabbed her hand, desperate to clear up a misunderstanding. She gently pulled away and asked, what misunderstanding? Cho had said her oppa thought they had already broken up since they hadn't talked in days and things hadn't been going well. Back then, Cho had also claimed she'd only just found out they were dating. But Kang had wondered, was Yoojung confused or just pretending to be? Then Cho had admitted she did know. She just thought they'd already split. Kang had stared at her, baffled. Is that really how she thinks? How did she even get into Can C? She'd laughed dryly and told her, Yoojung C, I get it. You both want to say you did nothing wrong, but don't make excuses to me. It won't change a thing. Now, sitting at her desk, Kang wonders if Yoojung really does like Lim Taehyun that much. Well, who wouldn't, honestly? He's exactly the kind of guy girls like Yoojung fall for. Tall, charming, always polished. His parents are high-ranking government officials, and every time he walks into a club, he becomes the center of attention. He loves being noticed, thrives in new circles. Kang smirks. God, I was insane to think about marrying him. It was probably a blessing they broke up before things got worse. She grabs a file and mentally tells herself to just finish up and go home, preferably before more drama explodes. Squatting in front of the printer, she mutters in frustration. The screen flashes that same error message. Turn off main switch. Turn back on. Call for service if problem continues. She's already done the classic triple reboot. There's plenty of paper. So why won't it print? Really copier? Now? Tears start to well up. She's already late, and this stubborn machine seems hell-bent on making her miss any chance of a peaceful evening. She remembers Yoojung's voice again. Her oppa thought they'd broken up since he hadn't heard from her in days. Kang chokes back a laugh, even as tears fall. That's what passes for a breakup these days? If he couldn't even be bothered to check in, shouldn't that have told him everything? She vows no more dating anyone from work, ever. A single tear drops onto the printer paper. It feels like even the machine is crying with her. By the door, Mr. Seo glances over and quips, "That printer looks like it's about to give up on life." Mr. Seo looks at the copier with mild concern and mutters that it's probably going to break. Kang Dawon, standing nearby, silently begs the universe for mercy. Of all times, please just go already, she thinks, swiping quickly at her eyes. Seo tilts his head and adds that it might already be broken. He casually suggests they should just get a new one, something high-performing, maybe even a little expensive. Then, after a glance at Dawan's face, he remarks, "Crying over a copier seems a bit much." Just like that, he closes the office door behind him and, half serious and half nosy, asks, "Or is it more about a cheating boyfriend than a dead machine?" Dawan instantly wishes the copier would explode. Right now, preferably right between them. It's the first time she's ever heard team leader Seo say something that personal, blunt, almost curious. She blinks, stunned. So even he thinks this whole mess is bleeding into my work? Of course he does. She missed that external meeting just yesterday. The rumors must be swirling through the office like free cake in the break room. There's no use pretending anymore. Everyone knows. Realizing how it must look, she straightens quickly and gives a small bow, her voice low, steady, and apologetic as she begins. "I'm sorry. It won't happen again." Before she can finish, Mr. Seo cuts her off. He holds out a handkerchief with the most neutral expression possible, like he already regrets even offering it in the first place. Kang quickly declines the handkerchief, brushing off his concern with a polite, neutral tone. It's really nothing worth worrying about. Mr. Seo responds with a shrug, indifferent, as if her tears or his presence mean absolutely nothing. She blinks, caught off guard. What on earth was that supposed to mean? His words feel like a puzzle. Is he dismissing her, or quietly paying attention? Kang tilts her head slightly, curiosity creeping in. If she's right, if he actually is worried about her breakup, that thought alone feels surreal. He confirms it without skipping a beat. "You've been crying again," he says simply. "Still have regrets?" She doesn't deny it. Half laughing, half resigned, she admits, "If I still had lingering feelings after what I saw, I must be a complete pushover, clinging to scraps." Yes, she cried, but not out of heartbreak, out of rage. Mr. Seo nods as if that answer satisfies him. "No regrets," he says. "Good. That's a relief." She blinks again. Wait, did he just laugh? He did. He actually laughed. Her thoughts trip over themselves, trying to catch up. Why would he laugh now? This isn't a comedy. It's not even the tragic part of her drama. It's the embarrassing middle act. Seo's tone softens. "I laughed," he says, "because I've been waiting." Kang raises an eyebrow. Waiting? For what? He meets her eyes. "The day you finally broke up." Her heartbeat stutters. Calm voice, casual expression, but her chest tightens anyway. "There's something I haven't said. For the past year," he adds. The room feels smaller, the silence between them stretches. Then he asks it, straightforward, clean. "Would you like to have dinner with me?" Just like that. No build-up, no drama, no broken copier between them. Kang's mind races. He's been waiting for me to break up? He's held back something for a whole year? That doesn't sound like team leader Seo at all. Trying to keep her voice steady, she asks what he means. The questions tumble out faster than she can filter them. Why would he say that now? Why did he laugh? Does he think her breakup is funny? Her voice wavers. Did my relationship affect my work? Did I do something wrong? Her eyes gloss over. The tears she's held back all day finally push through. She's not just confused now. She's hurt, and maybe, beneath that, angry too. So that's why he laughed, she thinks bitterly. Of course he did. I'm the employee who cries at the printer because she can't separate her personal life from work. What boss wouldn't find that ridiculous? Tears slip down her cheeks, frustrated, vulnerable, and sharp. Before she can look away, Seo Junho gently lifts her chin. His expression is calm, too calm for the emotional hurricane she's in. He pulls out the same handkerchief. Without saying a word, he wipes her tears carefully, like it's the most normal thing in the world. With the softest smile, he says, "I'm glad I brought it." Then, still quiet, still absurdly composed, he asks, "So, what do you think? Dinner's better than crying, right? That does it." Kang's brain short-circuits. She spins on her heel and bolts for the door. I'll be going first," she stammers, her voice cracking as she escapes, leaving behind her team leader, his handkerchief, and the dinner plan still floating awkwardly in the air. On the train ride home, Kang stares out the window, blank-eyed. Her thoughts, unfortunately, aren't as peaceful as the passing city lights. That moment, So Junho's face way too close to hers, his quiet voice saying, "I'm glad I brought it," plays again like a cursed replay in her head. She groans internally. I must really be going crazy. By the time she steps into her apartment, her mind is a mess. She kicks off her shoes, tosses her bag aside, and heads straight for the kitchen. No sense. Why now? Why right after her breakup? Couldn't he have waited until my tears at least dried? She rubs her forehead, exhausted. Seriously, I have no idea what's going on. So much in one day. Too much. She flicks off the kitchen light and declares to herself, "Okay, enough. Back to daily life. Nothing happened. Totally normal. Just another Tuesday with emotional whiplash." The next morning, Kang walks into the office like she's heading into war. Her mental script is on loop. Act like nothing happened. Totally normal. Even if I see Team Leader Seo, especially if I see him, nothing happened. Naturally, like fate has a sense of humor, she sees him almost immediately. Her brain skips like a scratched record. The image of his face, way too close, flashes again, now in full HD. Pretend. As usual, nothing happened. She powers through like a seasoned actor walking past an ex at a wedding. Posture perfect, expression unreadable. Once at her desk, she exhales, slow and steady. Mentally, she gives herself a pat on the back. Great. This looks natural. Totally chill. Like I didn't run off like a rom-com lead who just realized she's in the wrong genre. Great job, me. He gestures for her to follow him down the hallway and casually asks about the copier. Said it was broken when he tried it that morning. Kang nods, remembering what he said last night. "Didn't you say you were going to order a new one?" She hadn't expected it to arrive this fast. Still, she had to admit, that was impressive. Fast service, she muses. Maybe they heard about the drama and rushed it over out of sympathy. The thought makes her smile, just a little. Kang exhales. Of course, that's when the door opens and Mr. So walks in. She jumps, startled. "Team leader? What are you doing here?" He gives her an easy smile. "Weren't we having dinner again tonight?" Kang raises an eyebrow, blinking. "Again?" She folds her arms straight forward as ever. "Why would I agree to dinner with you?" Instead of answering directly, Seo's grin shifts, playful, just a little too confident. Then he replies in smooth, accented Indonesian, "Aku penasaran tentang kamu." Kang stares at him, completely thrown. Indonesian? The copier beeps softly in the background as if to echo her confusion. Her brain short-circuits trying to process both the unexpected language and the implication behind it. Did he just flirt with her? In a foreign language? Who does that? She narrows her eyes. "Excuse me?" Mr. Seo eyes the copier with concern and mutters that it's about to break. Standing nearby, Kang Dawan silently begs the universe for mercy. Of all times, please just leave already. She wipes her eyes quickly, hoping he didn't see. Seo tilts his head, adding that it might already be broken. He casually suggests they get a new one, something with better performance, maybe even a bit expensive. Then, glancing at Dawan's face, he comments that crying over a copier seems a little much. Just like that, he closes the office door behind him and asks, half serious, half nosy, if her tears have more to do with a cheating boyfriend than a dead machine. Dawan wishes the copier had exploded. At least then she wouldn't have to answer that. It's the first time she's heard team leader Seo bring up something personal so directly. She blinks, surprised. So even he thinks this mess is affecting my work. Of course he does. She missed an external meeting just yesterday, and the whole office is likely buzzing with gossip about her and Lim Taehyun. There's no hiding it now. It's probably spreading through the company like free cake in the break room. Realizing how it must look, she quickly stands and gives a small bow, her voice low and apologetic as she begins to promise it won't happen again. Before she can finish, Mr. Seo interrupts and offers her a handkerchief with a deadpan expression, like he already regrets retrieving it. Dawan quickly declines, brushing off his concern with a polite tone and assuring him it's nothing worth worrying about. He responds indifferently, as if her tears or his involvement mean absolutely nothing. She blinks, caught off guard. What on earth is that supposed to mean? His words feel like a puzzle. Somehow, she can't tell if he's dismissing her or quietly paying attention. Dawan tilts her head slightly, testing the waters with a trace of curiosity. If she's right, could Mr. Seo actually be worried about her breakup? The thought alone feels surreal. He confirms it without missing a beat, pointing out that she's been crying again and wondering if she still has regrets. Dawan doesn't deny it. She admits, half laughing at herself, that if she still had lingering feelings after witnessing that scene, she really must be a pushover clinging to scraps. Yes, she cried, but only out of anger, not heartbreak. Mr. Seo nods, seemingly satisfied. At least there are no regrets. That, to him, is a relief. Kang blinks. Did he just laugh? He laughed, right? Her thoughts stumble, tripping over themselves as she tries to confirm what her ears just heard. Seo casually suggests they head out together. He needs to file for a new copy machine anyway. Kang stares at him, baffled. She has to ask, did he really just laugh? He admits it without hesitation. Yes, he laughed. She gawks. What could possibly be funny right now? This isn't a rom-com, and they're definitely not in the funny part of her life, but Seo's tone softens. He says he laughed because he's been waiting. Kang raises an eyebrow. Waiting? For what? He meets her eyes. The day you finally broke up. There's something he hasn't said for the past year. His voice is calm, but her heartbeat isn't. He asks if she'd like to have dinner with him, just like that. No drama, no preamble, and definitely no broken copy machine between them anymore. Kang's mind races. What exactly is going on in his head? He's been waiting for her to break up? And there's something he hasn't said for a whole year? That doesn't sound like team leader Seo at all. Trying to keep her voice steady, she asks what he means. The words tumble out faster than she can filter them. She admits she doesn't understand any of it. Why he says he's been waiting, why he laughed, and whether he finds her breakup that amusing. Her voice cracks slightly as the questions keep coming. Had her relationship ever affected her work? Had she done something wrong? Her eyes gloss over. The tears she's held back all day finally rise to the surface. She isn't just confused, she's hurt. And somewhere beneath that, angry too. Ah, so that's why he laughed. Kang finally understands. Of course he'd laugh. She thinks bitterly. I'm the employee who bursts into tears because I can't separate personal issues from work. What boss wouldn't find that ridiculous? Tears stream down her cheeks, but before she can look away, Seo Jun-ho gently lifts her chin. His expression is calm. Too calm, considering the emotional hurricane she's in. He pulls out the same handkerchief from before and carefully wipes her tears, like it's the most natural thing in the world. With the softest smile, he says he's glad he brought it. Then casually, as if they aren't standing in the middle of an office meltdown, he asks if she'd prefer dinner over wiping tears. That does it. Kang's brain short-circuits. She spins around and bolts for the door, blurting out a flustered excuse. Her voice cracks as she calls out that she'll be going first, leaving team leader Seo standing there, with the handkerchief and, presumably, the dinner plans. Straightforwardness is one thing, but this feels like a complete curveball. He simply replies that she probably has no idea how much effort he's put in. Kang pauses, startled. I knew he was the type to speak bluntly, but this is on a different level, straight-up confession level. Is this really happening in the copier room? Seo Jun-ho speaks plainly, recounting how, when he first heard about Kang and Lim going on a business trip together last year, he honestly didn't expect the relationship to last more than 6 months. He was surprised it dragged on for over a year, but now he admits he's glad it finally ended. Kang's face turns scarlet. Her ears feel like they might catch fire from how quickly the heat rushes up. Then, with that same cool tone, he addresses her directly and asks if they can go home together. There are things, apparently many things, he wants to say. Kang just stands there, brain buffering, cheeks fully roasted. Back at her cubicle, Kang sits motionless, staring blankly at her monitor. Am I dreaming right now, she thinks? Yeah, this could be a dream. A very vivid, weirdly specific dream. Before her mind can spiral any deeper, her cubicle neighbor calls out, "Elms, Kang?" She jolts upright, nearly knocking over her coffee. "Yes." I said I sent you an email. Please check it out. "Oh, yes, okay. I'll check. Thank you." As soon as the conversation ends, she slumps back into her seat, burying her face in her hands. I'm embarrassed. Fully, painfully embarrassed. Peeking out from behind her monitor like a spy in a cubicle thriller, she spots team leader Seo chatting casually with another employee. Her thoughts wander again. "So, you were interested in me, but didn't approach me because I had a boyfriend? Is that it?" He turns slightly and catches her staring. Their eyes meet. Panicking, she looks away so fast she nearly gives herself whiplash. Kang let out a quiet sigh as she stared at the report on her desk. Of course there's a report due on a day like today. Why wouldn't there be? She gave herself a mental slap on the wrist. Get it together. Work is work. Personal drama goes in the emotional junk drawer until after hours. In Seo's office, Kang handed over the file with stiff hands, trying to keep her expression neutral. Seo accepted it with a light smile, but watched her a little too closely. She stiffened, blaming the chill in the room for her awkward posture. When he offered help, she practically jumped, waving him off with unnecessary enthusiasm. He chuckled under his breath and turned his attention to the file, while Kang stood rooted in place, mentally kicking herself for acting like she was in a rom-com with her boss. Back at her cubicle, Kang glanced back. Seo was still buried in his work, completely focused, as usual. She sighed, leaning into her chair. Of course I knew. Realistically, what woman wouldn't be flustered if a guy like him asked her to dinner? But breaking up with Lim Taehyun had drained her. Her brain still felt like it was rebooting emotionally, and now here came Seo Junho, casually throwing in the "I'm interested in you" card like it was a meeting memo. The timing made everything feel tangled. It was hard to tell if he meant it seriously or if he was just swooping in after the dust settled, like some kind of feelings vulture. By the elevator, Kang glanced around, keeping her expression neutral. Her thoughts weren't as calm. Just the desk plant had stirred up whispers. If people found out she and team leader Seo were spending evenings together now too, the office gossip mill would explode. She braced herself, sighing internally. Then came a voice she didn't want to hear. That voice, she didn't even need to turn around to know Lim Taehyun. Of course, he stepped up beside her, voice low but laced with accusation. The name Yoojung dropped like a brick between them. Her spine stiffened. He had the audacity to show up and demand answers, like she was the root of his latest drama? Kang shot him a sharp glance, biting back a scoff. Whatever mess he's made with Yoojung is his to clean up. Yet here he was, acting like she had pulled the strings behind the scenes. Typical. Instead of feeding into it, she shut it down. She'd cleaned up after his nonsense once already. She wasn't going to play therapist for his rebound drama. Kang's heart pounded in her chest. People would start pouring out of the elevators any second, and here she was, face to face with Lim Taehyun, of all people. Of course, he'd corner her at the worst possible moment. Her luck was truly something else. Then he crossed a line. Her eyes widened in disbelief. The nerve, accusing her of still having feelings, dragging Yoojung into it like some twisted drama script. She blinked, stunned as he threw accusations around like confetti. Clingy? Cheating? Her jaw nearly hit the floor. If she were holding her coffee, it would have splashed straight across his smug face. Then he really went off. Loud enough for people nearby to start slowing down, glancing over. He was ranting about her work habits now, how she'd always left him behind, how he was the one who endured her like she was some grueling office shift. Her stomach twisted in embarrassment. Was this man really painting himself as a saint now? She felt horrified, not just because of the public scene, but because she'd ever dated him. The self-pity, the arrogance. How had she not seen it sooner? Just as she was about to speak, a voice called out behind her, calm, steady, cutting through the tension like a knife. Team leader Seo. Kang mentally scolded herself. If bad timing were a skill, she'd be world-class. Of all moments, this had to be the one she chose to stand frozen by the elevator. Seo appeared beside her, calm and composed, as if he hadn't just walked into the middle of a live soap opera. His voice was smooth, casual, too casual. She blinked, startled by his sudden presence and even more startled by what he said next. Everyone within earshot, which unfortunately included half the department, suddenly forgot how to mind their own business. Her brain screamed, "Why now? Why say that now?" Trying to save face, she quickly played along, clumsy but determined. At least she managed to connect it back to work. Monthly report, work talk, professional. CO didn't miss a beat. Cool as ever, he invited her along, turning smoothly toward the elevator. She nodded and followed him in, her head held high even though her insides were quietly combusting. Mr. Lim watched them and wondered why team leader So was having dinner with Kang Dawan. What was going on? Inside the elevator, Kang glanced at So and thought about how, thanks to him, she dodged a major disaster. And really, was there any man better than So? Nope, but she wasn't about to give him that satisfaction. Fine, she decided. Whatever happens, she'd be having dinner with someone 10,000 times better than Mr. Lim. In the parking lot, Mr. Seo asked why she was acting like this. She quickly said she never planned to have dinner with him. He smirked and asked if she was just going to take the elevator back down. Did she want to run into Deputy Lim Taehyun again? She sighed and asked if he could just take her to the subway station instead. He raised an eyebrow and pointed out that Lim might be taking the subway home too. He'd heard Lim left work that way. She wondered when he'd gotten that info. Without waiting for an answer, he opened the car door and told her to get in. In the car, she thanked Mr. Seo. She asked if he had planned everything on purpose. He said no, it was just how things turned out. She admitted it was tough, so she appreciated it. He then warned her to report to HR if Lim ever harassed her again. She blinked, asking, "To whom? You?" He nodded and added she could tell him directly too. If you're eager for the next chapter, drop a comment expressing your interest in a part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and ensure to hit the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time.